All right, welcome back to Good Kind. We got G Leaguer Parker Van Dyke back on the program. Park, good to have you back. We talked World Series last time, which was maybe one of the best World Series of the last 25 years, if not the best. Just post-World Series, thoughts on how the game has kind of retaken shape.
It's great to be back. We've also got this great background here with Christmas tree, Star of David, Christmas and Hanukkah coming together.
That's what we're doing.
With one.
It's like the black and white cookie.
Yeah.
From Seinfeld. Yeah,
perfect unison.
Yeah.
Well, I think now that we're a few weeks removed from the World Series, we've talked a lot about the current state of baseball and how baseball's in a position in terms of Major League Baseball, in terms of its popularity, in terms of its viewership, that it hasn't been, I think, in a while. And so I know we wanted to talk about, why that is, why it's in the state that it is, and why it's only going to continue to get more popular. Kind of like the old days of baseball, where we've always viewed it as America's pastime, and we're getting to the point where it's getting the attention it deserves. Let's put it that way.
We kind of talked about this too prior to the shoot, about how baseball was kind of in like a moratorium for a little while. Mm-hmm. Your face of the league was Mike Trout. Mike Trout never won a postseason game. Mm-hmm. He went to one postseason series in 2014 against the Royals. Only time he was in a postseason?
Yeah, only once. He only went once.
Only once, and I think he only had one hit in the series, which might have been a home run actually.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, he had one hit. It's your face of the league. And in the last 10 years, your face of the league's only been in the postseason one time. It's not a great way to draw viewership. You were saying markets like Atlanta, New York, Boston, obviously LA, Toronto. Big markets have guys, superstars playing in big games.
Exactly, and that's what always will drive numbers, is your biggest stars playing in the biggest markets with the biggest brands in the biggest games that matter. And so that's what we've seen the last few years. This year we saw a Yankees-Red Sox playoff. We saw the Yankees and the Red Sox, or the Yankees in the World Series last year. Obviously, the guy like Shohei Ohtani and Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, these guys are very involved in their biggest games. Bryce Harper in Philadelphia, Manny Machado in San Diego, where you've got your biggest names playing in the biggest games. And there was a time there during the Mike Trout era where there wasn't all of the stars in the biggest cities playing in the biggest games. And so we've seen that these last few years, and that's why we see the rise in baseball popularity and in baseball viewership. I think another thing to point out is the game, baseball has done a great job with their new rule implementation.
Yeah.
I think the pitch clock has been huge, speeded up the games a little bit. I think the bigger bases has led to more stolen bases. The takeaway of the shift has led to more hitting. So you got to kind of tip your hat off to baseball from an organizational side. They've made some changes to the game.
Universal DH, a big one.
Universal DH, good call.
Yeah.
And they've made some changes to the game. A pitcher has to face 3 batters before you just take him out.
Makes it more strategic.
Yeah, and managers were just putting in a pitcher and then taking him out after one batter, and that would make the game so much longer. So tip your hat off to Major League Baseball for making good enough changes to keep the integrity of the game, because that's a big thing in baseball. You don't want to ruin the integrity of the game by making too many changes. But the changes that have improved the viewership of the game, and so I think that's another reason why baseball is where it is.
But also back in 2004, there was a villain, and it was the Yankees. Mm-hmm. So you had Yankees fans versus everybody else. Do you think the Dodgers have kind of taken on that role now of the team that everybody kind of wants to hate?
I think people, from what I've talked about with baseball people, is people will naturally get success fatigue. So when they see the same team winning over and over again, they will naturally hate that team. So we've seen it in the Chiefs, we saw it with football, Warriors, Patriots, things like that. Obviously the Yankees. The tough thing about the Dodgers, so the Dodgers are in that trend where people don't like the brand of the Dodgers because sometimes the big brands get the hate, but they have a very likable team. That's the problem. Is I think it's hard to not like Mookie Betts and Shohei and Freddie Freeman and Kiki Hernandez and Will Smith and all these guys and Clayton Kershaw. These guys are very likable athletes. And so I do think people are going to start to get tired of seeing them have the success that they have and win. I think what they're really going to get tired of is seeing them get all of the star players, all of the the big time free agents going to LA. And so I think that will that is something that people will probably rally around and cheer against. But it's not to the point where the Yankees were in the early 2000s, because the Yankees are a hateable brand for a lot of people. And then you had the whole A-Rod controversy amongst those things.
Yes.
So
yes.
The Dodgers don't have anything like that yet, other than they're just kind of annoying because they get all the big time players.
Alex versus A-Rod, but did you watch it, by the way? The A-Rod documentary?
I haven't watched the A-Rod documentary yet, but
it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. I think it really encapsulates how much people hated the dude.
Yeah.
Like, they hated him, man.
Yeah.
But it made the game great. It was like, because, especially like early 2000s, A-Rod, when he goes to the Yankees in 04, everybody is rooting for the Red Sox in that series.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like the Sox, you're rooting for the Sox against everybody hated the Yankees, especially after, World Series appearance in 03, they lose. World Series appearance in 01, they lost. World Series appearance 2000, they won. Obviously, they won 4-5 till 2000, and they were in the last, 7 out of 8 or something like that?
Yeah, they were in it in 01, lost. They were in it 03, lost, and then lost to the Red Sox in 04. And I think that's kind of where we are in baseball in terms of that was a prime era of baseball, and it was because you had your biggest rivalry. The Yankees Red Sox were playing in the most meaningful games. There was a couple year stretch where they were playing in the ALCS, they were competing in the AL East, and they were playing in the ALCS, competing to get into the World Series. And you had great players on both sides. So you had A-Rod, you had Jeter, you had Posadas, you had Pettit, Mariano, and then obviously you had Manny and David Ortiz and Kevin Millar and the whole crew in Boston, Johnny Damon. And so that was just prime baseball watching, because two best teams, best rivalry, best players competing in the biggest games. And we've seen that the last few years, which is why I think baseball has kind of gotten back to that point. But I think the key to A-Rod was obviously he had the steroid stuff, but he was supposed to go to Boston.
Yep.
So
and then Major League Baseball denies the trade.
Yeah, and Boston really felt shorted by that. And so that's where a lot of the hate from the Boston side comes from, is that not only did we not get him, but then he went to the Yankees.
Yep. I wonder who they would have traded for A-Rod too in that.
Well, A-Rod, I think, was a free agent at the time.
No.
Was he not?
No,
Okay.
Texas wanted to trade him because Texas was getting production out of A-Rod, but they weren't good. Mm-hmm. So the Rangers basically are like, we're going to trade you, dude. You're hitting over 300 and hitting us 40, 50 bombs a year, whatever it was, but we're not winning baseball games, so we got to figure this out.
Well, we'll have to look and see who did the Yankees give up for A-Rod?
I have no idea, dude.
Yeah. But that's a good point.
That team was loaded.
Yeah.
Gary Sheffield.
Yeah, the 04 team was stacked.
Jeter.
Alfonso Soriano, Mike Mussina. The team was loaded there, and obviously it was the 3-0 comeback where the Red Sox came back, ended up winning, and then they went on to sweep the Cardinals. But that was an era of baseball. I think we were growing up during that time that we all look back with a lot of fondness, because, like we're saying, there were so many memorable moments, and it was the biggest teams, biggest players on the biggest stage. And we've been able to see that these last few years. And so it's sad, because if you're a small market fan of a small market team, it hurts to see these big market teams have all the success.
Yep.
Because you feel like, how are we supposed to compete with that? But for the game as a whole, it's very good. As we've seen, the World Series had a way better viewership number than even the NBA Finals did the last year. So.
Keys for baseball to keep the momentum.
I think the keys is like I just said, the big market teams continuing to succeed, your stars continuing to do well. So Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani are doing things that, they're doing Babe Ruth type things, Albert Pujols type things, Barry Bonds type things that you don't see often. So that helps. Your stars continuing to be stars.
Yep.
And I think these teams, Chicago the Cubs have been good. I think the Cubs continuing to be good. The Braves kind of get back on track. The Padres continuing to be good. I think if you continue to have your biggest teams have success and play in the biggest games, then that's going to drive viewership. And then I would say two other things. One, if you're going to continue to make changes, make sure it's on par with the other changes, because too much change can ruin the integrity of the game. But if you make some changes that continue to improve the quality, that can be good.
Like runner on second, extra innings is not a great.
Yeah, that one's rough. It helps the games go by faster in the regular season.
Yes.
But that one's an iffy one. Obviously, you can't do it in the playoffs. So you got to play around with some. Well, we're gonna have the pitch com, or not the pitch com, but you're gonna be able to challenge calls A batter will be able to challenge a call from the umpire if he doesn't like the strike.
What do you mean opposed to the manager?
So now they're going to implement where so you couldn't ever challenge balls or strikes. But now there will be during this upcoming season, the batter will be able to challenge a ball or a strike.
You only have a certain number of challenges, though.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how it is, but the batter will be able to challenge if he gets called on a strike three that he thinks is a ball, he'll be able to challenge that. So we'll see how that helps. And then playoff baseball, everyone loves and agrees that playoff baseball is probably the best playoff of all the major sports. And so I would like a way, maybe can you expand it even? Can you even make it a little bit bigger to have even more teams a part of the playoffs?
Really?
The reason why is because I don't like when the first seed gets that long of a bye.
Correct.
Gets a week-long bye. In baseball,
it's almost a disadvantage too.
Yes.
It's a disadvantage.
Yeah.
I mean, the Dodgers didn't have a bye and they waltzed their way to the World Series. Obviously, they had a hard time against Toronto. Toronto really should have won the World Series. I mean, talk about it a million times. Looking back, we already did a recap video on it, but Toronto really should have won. But I mean, yeah, they pretty much both waltzed their way to the World Series. I guess Toronto didn't because they were down. Was it 2-0 to Seattle?
Yeah, 2-0. Lost 2 games at home and then came back and won. But I think the Dodgers had a bye this year, but last year they didn't. But I don't love the idea of that. That's a lot to overcome because baseball plays 162 games in like 180 days.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you finish your season going into the playoffs, you take 5 days off, and you've got a team who just won the wild card series coming in hot.
Yep.
And it's only, it's a 5-game series, which goes by pretty quick in baseball. So that would be one thing that you could adjust. But other than that, like this playoff, it was a great playoff for baseball. So I think as long as you can continue on that trend, and you've got guys like Shohei and Judge, your 2 best players doing amazing things. The popularity is gonna stay the same.
All right, lastly, because we're pushing 15 minutes here, because I think we're trying to do 15, right?
Yeah, 15.
Okay.
I know that people want more, but we're
well, because I want to do a full video on this actually next.
Yeah.
But baseball expansion, are we ready for it? Does Salt Lake get a team? Does Nashville get a team? And like I just said, is baseball ready for it?
I think this is the time to strike because of the popularity. I'm a little 50-50 on this because I'm a Braves fan.
Yep.
And one thing I love about the Braves are kind of the baseball team of the South. There's really no other team in their geographical area. You take out Florida, and the Braves are the only team in Georgia, the Carolinas, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. There's no other baseball team. And so that whole area, they call it Braves country. So everyone kind of feeds into the Braves. So if they were to put another team in Nashville, that would kind of take away a little bit of the Braves country. So on that side, I don't know about it. But on the other side is if Salt Lake were to get a team, that would be pretty cool. And I think with the Mammoth, we've proven that we can handle more professional teams. So this is a good time for baseball to strike because of their rise of popularity. But if they do it, I just hope Salt Lake gets a team.
What do you think the odds are that Salt Lake does get a team, and do you think it's by 2029 or earlier?
I think it comes down to MLB and how much they want to expand. I think we have the infrastructure.
Yep.
Now we've got the Millers and the Smiths probably vying for that. Who's going to own the team? But I think it'll come down to Major League Baseball and who they decide, which cities they decide to have their expansion. I think Tennessee will for sure probably get one.
Yep.
I guess the other one, Charlotte, could maybe get one. So we'll see. But I'm sure they would want one on the
Charlotte
West.
Would be awesome.
They would want one on the West Coast and one on the East Coast. So I don't think it would make much sense to put one in Charlotte and Nashville. They'd want one on the West. And I can't think of another city.
Portland.
Vegas.
And no. Vegas, yes.
Yeah.
But Vegas is getting the A's.
Oh, that's right.
So it would be Portland and Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
But they're not going to do 4 teams. I don't think they're going to do a 4-team expansion.
No.
That's a lot.
No, they'd start with 2 because right now the NFL has the most teams and there's 32. I don't think they'd go beyond 32.
They wouldn't go 34.
So it's probably between like Charlotte and Tennessee and then Portland and Salt Lake. So, but exciting days are ahead in baseball. And my only thing, like I said, is just these changes they've made have been really good so far. Just don't get too greedy with the changes because you got to keep intact the integrity of the game.
Yep, that's a great point. Again, I think a lot of people were talking about like the umps having like AI right in their hand where they could see, obviously like, hey, like, tennis, obviously, like, did the ball hit the line or not? But for umpires to every single time look down and see was it in the zone or not, that's not baseball.
No, I think it's too much. Yeah.
Too much.
Keep the keep the judgment, the human judgment of the game with the occasional challenge. Like we see it in the NBA now. Refs make mistakes, teams can challenge, and then they get the call reversed.
Yep.
And so I think just implementing that a little bit in baseball will help, and it won't be too much.
Pete, you're the man. We will be back at you, next week? Should we do this again? I think it's a weekly thing here.
Let's run it back.
We got Good Kind Network also
Yeah.
coming your way. We're calling games locally here in Salt Lake City on Good Kind Network. Keep you posted on that. For now, Parker Van Dyke, Michael Goodkind, be good, be kind, PVD Goodkind, out. 15:30.